Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about going into PvP zones as a PvPer. That's primarily what I do. I don't participate in PvP that much, and so I wanted to talk about some achievements that you can work on while they are active, and maybe you've gotten some of this other stuff that has recently launched in the game all finished up and you're kind of in limbo and looking for something to do. For example, if you go into the achievements here and go to the recent seasons, if you've gotten the Thieves Armory station or the house, I've done videos on these, how to get them. If you're still trying to get those, check out the links in the description. I'll put the links in those videos if you're curious on how to obtain those. And also the Prowler's Mythic, and then there's the challenge difficulties. But then there's also Veterancy that's been launched with update 50, and so I'm going to talk about that largely in this video because we're kind of in a holding pattern for the rest of this stuff here, the Sheogorath missions and the favors, or excuse me, the rumors and other things that were supposed to launch have been kind of delayed. And so what should you work on if you've gotten all of these other things done? So I'm going to talk about Veterancy and how you can participate in this while you're still waiting for other PvE content to be launched. If you're kind of in that position, for one, you could take advantage of some of the challenges for the Tamriel Tome system, and you can reroll if you're looking to get certain things done in Veterancy. You could reroll for PvP challenges, or you could just work on these and work on normal PvE challenges. However, I'm going to travel into one of the campaigns here. I'm just going to go into Vengeance to start, and I'm going to talk about how you can participate in advancing your Veterancy ranks in a very easy manner. And so we're going to get in here. 1 second here, we'll load, and we'll talk about what you can do as a PvEer. And so I'm just going to go ahead and load my PvP loadouts. If you're curious about what I run for PvP, I've also done a video on that. I'll link that in the description as well. If this is relatable content and you're wanting to kind of line up with what I'm talking about, I've done videos on this in the past. I'll link that video in the description as well if you want to check it out. But essentially here, the one of the biggest things you can watch for is the PvP Under Attack app will tell you whether or not you've got something to go assist on a keep take or something like that. But for the purposes of this video, we only have one keep right here. So this would be a lot better in this situation to jump on a blue character for the Vengeance campaign. But I'm just going to travel to this one right here for the purpose of this video, and we can talk about what it is that I'm going to do while we're loading. This is something you can really easily do in Vengeance. It doesn't take any PvP skill at all. Basically, what you want to do is make sure that you have your Cyrodiil repair kit for Vengeance slotted. And then what you're going to do is either, if you've got to ride out like in this situation, then you'll have to do that. But what you're going to want to do is ride out or port to a keep, and then inspect the walls to see if there's anything that needs to be repaired. And why I'm talking about that specifically in Vengeance is because you get unlimited repair kits. And so you can achieve getting AP for free, essentially, in Vengeance by just running into keeps on Vengeance and getting AP, and that should help scale your Veterancy by gaining AP. And it doesn't cost you anything because you are going to be earning AP for doing the repair. So there is a small caveat here. If you're wanting to advance your level 1 progress, then you would have to, in fact, be assigned to the Vengeance campaign. However, that's not the goal here in this. I'm trying to work on the actual Veterancy, which is a separate issue here. So you just need to advance your rank by participating in Cyrodiil Imperial City or Battlegrounds. You don't actually have to be locked into the campaign itself in order to do that. You just won't get progress on the level 1 rewards tier, but there is a small thing I'm going to bring up. I myself participated in June 26's campaign in June 2026. I had 19 characters at level 1, and I did not receive a single rewards email for that effort. So I'm not really going to focus on whether or not I'm in the right campaign or not. I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to look at the walls, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slot my repair kit, and if I see any walls that need to be repaired, I'm just going to stop and repair them. And as you can see, you can kind of look at the life bar when you get up close to them, and it will show you whether or not something needs to be repaired, like this. So in this case, there's not anything to repair so far, but sometimes you might get to the door, for example, and the door might need to be repaired. You can check the inner keep as well to see if there's any damage to that. And if you're not able to do anything in this campaign, then you could jump to your regular campaign, which in my case is Blackreach. I like to actually have CP implemented, and so I normally encounter just the PvE guys on the resources and whatnot. So in this campaign, for example, you can see that the red Ebonheart Pact here has taken over pretty much most of the map. There's virtually no keeps to take here. There's maybe a resource up here to take, so there's not much to do in terms of taking anything, but there are still Cheydinhal missions you can do. You can pick up your mission board stuff here at the base camp, and you can pick up those. Make sure you have all of these, and especially if you've got the entire map taken up like this is a really great opportunity to do your scout mission here like this, because you can pretty much essentially just port to the actual location of where your scout is and just about do it without virtually any hindrance at all. You can pretty much run over there. I would recommend that you go into a delve and kill a delve boss to obtain the Blessings of War buff for killing the delve boss. If you do that, it'll give you a 1 hour increase to the AP that you earn that increases your AP earned by 20%. So that is a really helpful thing, especially if you're not working with very big numbers, like doing these little jobs at either Cheydinhal here. You can do certain jobs at Cheydinhal, and then there's another area over here in this town, Weynon Priory. You can do some jobs. There's Iceheart Home here. I'm not sure if there might be some missions there, but there's little jobs that you can do over the area, and also the 3 towns, Vlastarus, and then there's also Cropsford, and then Bruma. You can do missions from there, and those are all activities where you're not doing PvP against players. And so that can be helpful to advance your veterancy. So why I'm talking about this, there are a lot of rewards in veterancy that are going to appeal to absolutely every player in the Elder Scrolls Online. As you can see, there's currently 116 days left in the veterancy campaign. So that sounds like there's a lot of time to do this. But if you extrapolate what else is going to happen in the calendar year for the Elder Scrolls Online, we can just look at the current, what has been released in terms of what's going to come out. At the end of July, we're going to have this Sheogorath new storyline launch, as well as a Golden Pursuit. And then right after that, PvP is going to get really busy with White Strake's Mayhem. I know that it can be a little bit difficult for people that are PvP focused to come in here on White Strakes and try to get stuff done unless they get into a group of some kind. The really kind of pro PvPers can come in and just mop you really easily. If that's not your cup of tea, then it can be a little bit more difficult to get town missions done and stuff like that, because somebody could just pick you off. So it might be a good idea to try and work on this in between release dates while the population is a little low. You can also get in here before the upcoming update 51 in late September there. The 21st is going to have a lot of new content as well. So this is just something I wanted to talk about in a video, because I think this is a really good opportunity and a good time to work on this kind of just at a relaxed pace. There are a lot of rewards on here. If you've not looked at them, I highly recommend you get in here and work on this stuff. It's not just PvP focused rewards that you can get. You can get skill styles, you can obtain trade bars, you can obtain Tel Var, which you can use to buy materials. If you're into tanking, you can buy Haikejos with your Tel Var. There's also gold, and there's also transmute crystals rather. Bags that have crafting materials in them, style pages, all kinds of things. There's 2 skill styles of note. There's the critical charge skill style at level 50, which, as you can see, I'm not quite there yet to obtain. I'm just about there. I've gone in here quite a bit, and I'm still only a level 47, and that meter is going to be moving a lot slower if you're not able to get in on keep takes. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff here that you can obtain that's even valuable to a PvE person. 20,000 Tel Var, 75 transmute crystals, several titles to obtain, trade bars, and then towards the very end is when it's really getting juicy. We have 50,000 Tel Var, 150 transmute crystals, trade bars again. All of these are easily obtained if you just come in here and just work on stuff gradually. And then towards the very end here, we've got the Sword and Board Power Bash skill style, as well as 200,000 Tel Var, 300 transmute crystals, 1,000 trade bars, and 100,000 gold. There are a lot of rewards in here to work on. And trust me, I am not a PvPer, but I thought it would be a good idea to cover the rewards that you can work on. And especially if you come in here and get the Blessings of War buff. And then also, I recommend highly that you try to either buy some Colovian war torts or see if there's anybody in your guild, or if you perhaps yourself know how to build this, use this as well. This is going to advance your Alliance War skill lines like an XP scroll does, as well as your Alliance rank. It will not increase your AP earned, but your Alliance rank that shows up on the description tab here. As you can see, I'm currently a Captain Grade 2. That will speed up your rank there, as well as if you have any movement that you need to get on these 2 skill lines here. If you need to level these up, maybe you're running on a healer or a tank and you're trying to get your levels up so where you can get the Magicka Aid passive filled in all the way and get access to Barrier or Warhorn or any of this stuff. This is a really great opportunity to get those leveled up by using a Delve Boss buff with the Blessings of War and the Colovian War Tort, and then just come up here and work on getting a mission done, getting some AP. It literally, you don't have to interact with anybody by doing this kind of stuff. And I'll show you a really quick way to basically port back to base if you're out in the middle of nowhere like this guy is. I'll just continue running over here to the mission here, and we'll get close enough to get this done. And we'll show you just how easy it is to get scouting missions done. And then you can work on town missions, like the 3 towns that can be taken. You don't actually have to own the town to do these. If you are an opposite color, you're going to have to probably tiptoe to a certain area to get the missions to turn in and all that. But it doesn't have to be the color that you are in order to turn that in on a mission. The Cheydinhal missions, I believe, give you right around 600 AP or so. So it is a little bit more of a slow-paced go at it, but you can obtain some gear that might be able to be sold. Also some materials, for example, the Cheydinhal missions and the missions from the little towns in the area, like these, like Weynon Priory and whatnot. You can obtain materials like the Cyrodiil citrus that is used for making the war tort. So what I'm going to do here in this video before I close it out, I'm just going to finish getting this scouting report done here. And as soon as it says I can return to the board, I'm just going to show you, I'm going to port to the campaign Imperial City here. And then I'll be able to port right back into my main campaign. And that's a lot faster than running all the way back to the home. Now, really important, if you've got any Tel Var on your character, you're going to have to turn that into your bank in order to port out of Imperial City. That is something they prevented from happening anymore. If you've got more than 100 Tel Var, you will not be able to port out of Imperial City like I just did. So just make sure you run over to your bank and deposit that, and you'll be able to jump right back in here. And of course, it dropped me on the opposite home base that I need to be to turn in this mission. So we'll just go here and we'll turn in the mission. Over here to the scouting board. And just like that, I've got 575. And I can pick up another one. And because the entire map is red right now, I can pretty much just mark this on the map. And because it's even connected, or I should say it's not connected, but it's fairly close to other things, I can port to this right here and just run west and do another scout mission just that simply. And I'm easily going to get, as you can see, quite a bit of XP for doing that. That was 85,000 XP. So that's a lot of XP if you're working on leveling anything. This is a really great thing to perhaps maybe turn in while you've got certain skills slotted that you're trying to level. Maybe you're trying to level a restoration staff or something. You can literally take any character in here and do this. It literally takes no effort. You can use this type of XP to really advance some stuff. The XP that's in here is really strong, so I would highly recommend taking the time to try and do this while you can advance your veterancy rank and see if you can get some good rewards here. Unfortunately, the rank doesn't give you like a value of terms of how close you are, but you can see in between the rank of 47 and 48, there's a little bar there that's being filled up. As soon as you fill that up, you'll obtain the next rank. And my next reward, for example, is a veterancy crafting bag. And then the next one up after that is Imperial Fragments and a skill style for, or excuse me, an outfit style for Torment's Cut Shield. So that's what I'm working on right now currently, while we're kind of in a little bit of a limbo situation and the population is down in PvP. Take an opportunity here to get some advancement on this stuff. Might be some really lucrative stuff to obtain here, as well as the XP that you can gain passively while you're doing this stuff. There's a lot of XP to do this. So give it a try, see what you think. If you like this video or thought it was helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I have a very large catalog of videos on my channel, and they are all organized by created playlist. So if you would check out my YouTube channel, go to the playlist, and you'll find all of that organized content there. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.